Hey guys, if you're new to watercolors and are looking for affordable palettes to try, then keep on watching. As an artist with low budget, I wasn't keen on investing $40 on a watercolor set. So I went through a few more affordable options before slowly upgrading my supplies. Although I say reviews, these will be more like my personal thoughts and experiences, rather than an in-depth view at the properties, just because most of these palettes don't have any pigment information or light fastness grade listed on their packages. Instead, we'll be looking at the unique features of each set and discussing the pros and cons while I test them on an actual artwork. First up, we have the Symbolion watercolors. This palette boasts of 36 watercolors and has the unique feature of a detachable cover, which you can conveniently use as your mixing tray. Seeing how vibrant the pods were, I have to be honest, I was quite excited to swatch these out. The convenience colors looked very promising, but does it deliver? Sadly, not as much as I was hoping for. It was kind of a hit or miss with this palette. The oranges turned out very muddy, and right away I could tell it wouldn't make for good base color mixing. I'm not sure if that's the right term, but we're sticking to it. The neon pink that I was so looking forward to turned out to be less pigmented than I was hoping for, making it look kind of washed out instead of that eye poppy color that I wanted. But all was not lost. The blues and violets really saved this set for me. The purples turned out to be more magenta and wine red, and the blues were brighter than it seemed on the pan. So I decided to build my piece based on the cool tones rather than the oranges and reds. One advantage to this palette is the range of colors it provides. My usual palettes consist of just 9 colors, so if I wanted violet or brown, I'd need to mix multiple pigments to get it. Although the formula of these paints don't favor mixing, with the colors available, I hardly found it necessary. Throughout the painting process, I only found myself reaching for blacks to tone down the blues and my violets. Other than that, I didn't really feel the need to mix for any new colors. This piece I'm working on right now was a concept I came up during Mermay. I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to use this mini-series to finish some ideas I've had in the past. I have so many sketch ideas that I say I want to paint, but I never really get around doing it. And sometimes they kind of haunt me and nag me at the back of my mind to get them done. Am I the only one that has this problem? Comment down below if you're just like me. I'd love to know that I'm not alone in this. Jumping into the painting portion of this video, I have to admit that this piece was a struggle to do. The pans were very thirsty and I had to constantly reactivate the paint. A small complaint, but kind of distracting when I was in the zone. Like most watercolor pan sets, Symbolion generously included a brush for us to use. But there were a lot of stray hairs that would have interfered with the painting process, so I had to cut it beforehand. Even then, it was a broomstick of a brush that had a non-existent tip. So although I had the intent to use it throughout the process, I had to switch it out when it came time to render the smaller details. The paints weren't as pigmented as I'm used to. The colors always looked so washed out when I first laid it down. It would take a few layers before I got the value I wanted. This painting probably took me twice as long as I thought it would. In conclusion, the pros of this palette are the many colors it makes available at your fingertips. As mentioned, the warm colors aren't anything to brag about, but the blues and the violets I would recommend. If you're in the PH, you're in luck. From what I've seen, the set is available in most, if not all, national bookstores and priced at a very low price of 150 pesos. I think that converts around $3. But before you get all excited and go and buy your very own, let's look at the cons, shall we? The casing is made of brittle plastic that's kind of like glass that easily breaks. I can imagine lugging this around in my messy backpack, taking it out to paint, only to discover that, there are cracks all over. Although it has a wide enough variety to do away with the color mixing, it also means you're quite limited to the hues it provides, only able to shift the brightness using black to a certain degree. There's no light fast information on the package, but I'm 90% sure that this paint is not archival. My final verdict? This palette would be a good Christmas gift for your niece and nephews, but if you're an artist looking to branch out to watercolors, then I would give this set a hard pass. Now, if you're a hobbyist or an amateur though, then things are a bit more forgiving. I would say, take it! If you want a frustrating first experience with watercolor. But if you want a more enjoyable palette to play with that's actually worth every peso, then stay tuned for next week's video because I have just the set to kickstart your painting adventure. In the meantime, don't forget to visit my shop for cute downloadable art prints. I post every Saturday, so make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell if you want to get notified for future videos, and follow me on Instagram if you want to see more content like this. With that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!